We continue now at the top of Daf Mem Gimel Amud Beis Meseches Shabbos. This is Shabbos Daf 43b. The Gemara just finished bringing Rav Yitzchak's opinion. Rav Yitzchak's opinion is you can never move something for the tzorech on Shabbos of something which is muksa. So the Gemara has the question from the fact that you're allowed to move a mat to cover up a beehive, and the Gemara said that there is honey in this situation in the beehive, and therefore it's not muksa. So the Gemara said, well, that doesn't make full sense, because granted in the summertime that would work, but what about the rainy season is what the Gemara is about to say. So de'ika devash, there is honey in the summertime, so your answer makes sense. However, b'moza geshamim deleka devash, in the times of the rainy season where there is no honey, and the Bryce had said the rainy season over there, Michael Amemar, what are you going to say? There's no honey. So the Gemara answers, Lo nitzrucha el osan shtei chalos. It's needed, or it's not muksa, we should say. It's needed in the case for those two chalos in the kaveris. Rashi here explains. Shtei chalos. Kol ha-kaveris onsero sa ha-devorim chalos shal tzapichas devash v'shaiva. So every single kaveris, every single beehive is made up of different compartments, areas called chalos, and they each have honey. Ukeshurodim osam manichin b'shtayim. What they would do is they would always leave two of them over for the bees through the rainy season. You always leave over two. So those two are left over in the rainy season. They have honey, and that will make it not muksa. So the Gemara asks, but they are muksa, because you're not planning on eating them. You're setting them aside for the devorim, for the bees. So it doesn't help us at all. So the Gemara says, no, you thought before Shabbos that you actually wanted to eat them. You decided, even though normally you leave them for the devorim, in this case you won't. So the Gemara says, Halo chashav alayu mai aser. What are you going to say? If you didn't think about it beforehand, then it's going to be aser. So if so, hadetani uvilvanshli eskavin lotzud. That which the Brisa said, don't have kavanah to trap. That's the one instance you can't spread the mats. There's a much more obvious instance where you cannot spread the mats. Liflog velisni b'dida. You should have divided, and you should have set aside the Brisa within that framework. Meaning, the Brisa should have said it's only permissible to move the mats if you had a kavanah ahead of time that you were going to eat from that honey. But if you didn't think you wanted to use the two chalos, so then it's going to be aser. Then it would be aser. So why would you say that the only time it's aser is if you're having kavanah trap? There's a much more obvious time when it's aser to spread these mats. So the Gemara says no. Hakamashmalan, the Brisa wanted to teach us that even though you had in mind that you were going to eat the honey, we wanted to teach you that you cannot have kavanah to trap. So the Brisa wanted to go out of its way to teach that particular halacha that you cannot have kavanah to trap, otherwise it's a problem. Okay, so in any case, the answer for this brisa essentially boils down to the fact that you're moving this machzelas for the purpose of something which is not muksa, because you had either honey in there, or if it's the rainy season, you had two chalas which you had thought of that you wanted to use, that you wanted to eat. The Gemara, though, just questions who the author of this brisa is. Money, who does this brisa follow? Rabbi Shimon, if this brisa follows Rabbi Shimon, less lay muksa. Rabbi Shimon doesn't hold a muksa at all anyway, so then you don't need to talk about chishev alei and lo chishev alei, and Rabbi Shimon would hold it's not muksa. And Rabbi Yehuda, if the brisa follows Rabbi Yehuda, who generally does hold of muksa, again, this is the commonplace machlokes throughout Meseches Shabbos between Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Yehuda, whether they hold of the concept of muksa in a whole bunch of cases. So if it's Rabbi Yehuda who holds a muksa, kilo meskavin mayhave. If he doesn't have kavanah to trap, who cares? Hadavar shein meskavin aser. Rabbi Yehuda is the one that says that a davar shein meskavin is aser. Yet clearly this brisa seems to be saying that if you have kavanah to trap, it's a problem. If you don't have kavanah, it's not a problem. Rabbi Yehuda would say it's a problem in any case. So the Gemara answers this: Li olam Rabbi Yehuda. Really, this brisa follows Rabbi Yehuda. Mayu vilvanchlo iskavin lotzed. And what does the brisa mean when it says that you didn't have kavanah to trap? It means shelo yasena kimitsuda. You didn't make it like a trap, meaning delishbok lu ravcha. You should leave a little space open in this mat that the bees can get out. Ki hechi delo litzidu, that way litzidu memela. That way they won't get trapped memela. So in other words, you really have to reinterpret the brisa over here and say that the brisa means you should not that you don't have kavanah to trap, but you don't set it up in a way which it will trap. So that's all one answer for this brisa. Rav Ashi is going to offer another answer on behalf of Rav Yitzchak. Rav Ashi says, Mikatani b'yemos hachama uv'yemos hageshamim. The brisa never said that you're going to spread these mats in the summertime and in the rainy season. The premise of all these questions was that in the rainy season there's no honey, so it's muksa. But we never said anything about the rainy season. What the brisa said was, b'chama mibnei hachama, in the sun because of the sun. Uvigashamim ne'agashamim, in the rain because of the rain. Katani, that's the wording of the brisa. So Rav Ashi explains what's the brisa talking about. B'yomei Nisan of Yomei Tishrei. The brisa is holding in the times of Nisan, meaning in the spring, or in the times of Tishrei, in the times of the fall. Di'ika chama v'ika tzina. You could take out v'ika tzina. Di'ika chama v'ika gesham and v'ika dvash. In those times, there's sun, there's rain, and there's honey. So that answers all the questions. In this case, you don't have to say anything about tu chalos or having chishav aleim, not chishav aleim. You don't have to say anything about that. We're talking very clearly about a situation where there's dvash, and therefore there's no muksa, and that's why you are allowed to spread the mats over it. Gemara now says, Amrlu Rav Sheshes. Rav Sheshes said to them, Poku va'amru leilu Rav Yitzchak, go out and go tell Rav Yitzchak, Kvar tirgama Rav Huna l'shmaitech beBavel, that Rav Huna in Bavel already taught exactly like you taught. Meaning, Rav Yitzchak taught in Eretz Yisrael, this halacha we said before, that you cannot move something on behalf of something which is muksa, and so Rav Sheshes is saying, you should know, Rav Huna taught the same thing in Bavel. What did Rav Huna say? The Amar Rav Huna, because Rav Huna said, Osin mechitza l'meis b'shvil chai, ve'ein osin mechitza l'meis b'shvil meis. You're allowed to make a mechitza, like a wall, for a dead body on behalf of someone who's alive, but you can't do it on behalf of the dead. Meaning, essentially, that's what we're saying. On behalf of a mace is muksa, you can't start moving things around on behalf of a mace. But the Gemara is going to clarify exactly how you do this. Maihi, what is the scenario? Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda said, and it was also taught by Shila Mori, Meis Hamutal B'chama, the cases I have a dead body in the sun, so you're not allowed to move anything for the dead body, so what do? Boim Shnei B'nei Adam, two people come, V'yoshvim Mitzido, they sit next to it, Cham Lahem Milmat, if it's hot for them underneath, Zem Mevi Mita V'yoshev Oleh, so this one brings a bed to sit up on top of, Zem Mevi Mita V'yoshev Oleh, this one brings a bed to sit on, Cham Lahem Milmala, then it gets hot for them up above, from the sun, Mevim Machzeles, they'll bring a mat to parse it alei, and they put it on top of them. Zezokef mitaso. Then this one comes and stands up his bed. V'nishmat v'holechlo, and he goes and he leaves. Zezokef mitaso v'nishmat v'holechlo, and the other one stands his bed upright and he leaves. V'nimtzes mechitza asuyamela, and it comes out the mechitza is made on its own. Meaning, essentially, what they're saying is this is a kosher way to build this mechitza on behalf of the mace. And you see from all of this that you're allowed to bring all of these items for the sake of the people who are alive, and then memela will be for the sake of the mace, but you wouldn't be allowed to move it around for the mace. And therefore, this teaching of Rav Huna, again, this teaching is in concurrence with what Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda said and with what Shila Mori said. This teaching follows the same position as Rav Yitzchak. Gemara now continues, Itmar meis hamutal b'chama. Let's say you have a dead body which is in the sun. So what can you do for this? We already proposed one solution. We're going to propose some others. Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel hofcho mimita lemita. So he says what you can do is you can roll it from one bed to another until it gets to a shady area. And Rav Chanina bar Shalmiya Mishmei de Rav Amar, he suggests, Rav Chanina, the son of Shalmiya, suggests in the name of Rav, Meiniachol of kikar otinok, you can take a piece of bread, or you put a child on top of this mace, umetaltalo, and then you can move it around, because since now you have an item which is not muksa, together with the mace which is muksa, you're allowed to move it. So the Gemara explains, everybody agrees that the kikar, the loaf of bread, or the tinok solution, those for sure would work. You can for sure take something which is not muksa and put it together with the mace and move it around. Everyone agrees that's not a problem. Ki pligi, the Leslie, the whole machlokas is if you don't have a kikar or tinok, mar savar tiltul min hatzad shmei tiltul, one holds that tiltul min hatzad, meaning here you're moving this item through the bed, you're rolling it from bed to bed, so it's kind of like an indirect way of moving it. Rashi says here min hatzad is the same as kila achar yad, like with the back of the hand. So that's the idea. One holds that's a problem. Amar savar lo shmei tiltul. The other one says that's not considered a problem of tiltul. So that's the machlokas. Whether you can roll it from mita to mita, is that considered a problem of tiltul on Shabbos or not? Gemara says, Lema ketanoi, let's say this is a machlokas tanoim, whether or not you can do tiltul min hatzad, because it says, Ein matzilin es hameis mibnei adalek. One, the Tanakama says, one Tana says that you're not allowed to save the mace from a fire. Rav Yehuda ben Lakish, and then Rav Yehuda ben Lakish says, Shamati shematzilin es hameis mibnei adalek. I heard you could save the mace from the fire. So hechidami, what's the case? Idi ika kikar otinok, if there is a kikar otinok, my time in the Tanakama. What's the reason Tanakama say it's prohibited? I thought we said everyone agrees that it's okay. Idalek, and if there's no kikar otinok, my time with Rav Yehuda ben Lakish. Why? How does Rav Yehuda ben Lakish allow it? Elolav betilt min hatzad pligi. Must be the issue is tiltul min hatzad. Demar savar tiltul min hatzad shmei tiltul. Umar savar lo shmei tiltul. One opinion is it is tiltul. One opinion is it's not tiltul. That's exactly the machlokas. The Gemara says, "Lo, no. Dekuli alma tiltul min atzad shmei tiltul." It could be everybody holds tiltul min atzad is a problem. V'hainu time of Rabbi Yehuda ben Lakish, and this is the reason of Rabbi Yehuda ben Lakish that he said it's okay. The mitoch she'adam bol al mesa, because a person is very concerned to protect his mace. So obviously there's some leniency coming out because of this, and we'll see this leniency on Daf Mem Dalet Amud Aleph in the next video.